see it. No PowerPoint. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. How y'all doing? Welcome back to another edition of What's Happening Now with C&I Solutions. Please remember to like, share, and comment on this broadcast, as there may be information that we are putting out that others can use for later viewing, as always. And don't forget to follow us on our social media, the YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all those good ones that have all the social media outlets that we like to put our information out on. Okay, so tonight we got a special guest in the house tonight, Mr. Brewster.
Thank you.
I wish it was you, but it's not. But we have an entrepreneur extraordinaire here. We have Miss Katrina Washington-Hines, and she is from JE Development.
JE Development. Well, welcome, Miss Hines.
Welcome,
Miss Washington-Hines.
Thank you.
So Miss Hines, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you and your husband get started in this?
So we started in 2014, and really we had always had a passion for real estate and things like that. But we were like, man, how can we really dive into it and also create wealth? And so we really started just researching and saying, okay, we know one of the fastest ways to attain wealth is by going into real estate. And so, we were like, but we really don't have the money. Right. So I was in banking at the time. And so I was talking to people about home equity lines of credit. Okay. And home equity lines of credit is when you can put, if you have equity in your house, you can put a second mortgage on your property and get that money to do whatever you want to do. A lot of people do renovations to their own home or utilize it however they want to do, pay off debt, like do a debt consolidation. And so my husband's grandfather's house was paid off. And so we were like, okay, why don't we put a home equity line of credit on his house, use that startup money, buy a property, and use half of it to buy it and half of it to renovate it and flip it. So that's how we got started. And our first property was just this small, cute little house in South Huntsville. We paid $30,000 for it. And we just got in there and we were very hands-on with the first house because it was tight. Right. So we had to really try to budget and make it work for us. But we got in there, we painted the cabinets. We did a lot of the work ourselves. And we had one contractor that he knew from his neighborhood where he grew up, and he was in there fixing stuff. And I mean, that's how we got started with that very first house. And you know what? It took us a year to sell that house.
Wow.
It did. It took us a year. And during that time, and this is why perseverance is so important, right? Because during that time, we were like, wow, did we make a mistake? Like, we got this home equity line of credit, and are we going to be able to pay it back? Are we even going to get a return on this house? Like, what's going to happen? And so we were so nervous. We couldn't sell it. We didn't know if it was a realtor or what was the situation. We thought we did a wonderful job and thought it looked good, but we couldn't get it sold. So after about a year, we accepted an offer on it. And I'm just being transparent about everything. We actually came out even on that house. And so we were looking at each other like, man, is this something that we want to continue? We're glad that we didn't take a loss, right? But we worked so hard on this, and it didn't work out the way that we really wanted it to work out. But what we realized during that process, because everything is a learning experience, what we learned during that process was you got to buy right. So you got to buy in the right location, which for that particular house in that neighborhood, it wasn't buying in the right location that we thought it was. You got to make sure that you don't invest so much in materials, like where you can cut on materials and maybe put something, if it's laminate countertops as opposed to granite and all of those things, go ahead and save where you can. And so we learned, okay, the next property that we do buy, we make sure that it makes sense for us.
Right.
So after that first house, the rest of the houses that we have flipped, we have definitely made profits on. We, just continued with our business and continued to grow it. And, we're so glad that we just continued to persevere and stay strong and just, knew what we wanted out of life, because it definitely has worked out for us.
That is interesting, because a lot of times, as we teach entrepreneurs and teaching an entrepreneur course, a lot of entrepreneurs find themselves giving up after that first loss,
Right.
or after that first hurdle they hit and they can't cross it, and they just like, you know what, I can't do it. I'm just going to go ahead and give up. So you are a true testament, you and your husband, for your perseverance and sticking with it, because a year is a long time. After you finished it and you're thinking that weighs heavy on you. It weighs heavy on you if you did make the right decision. So I think that's really, really interesting. So, I know you sent me over some information, and I know our producer, she's got it, and when she's ready to show it, we want to pull up a few of the slides that we got and just talk us through some of this stuff. I just found it very interesting.
Okay.
Talk us through this. Where's this located at?
So this was a property that we renovated in Danville, which is outside of Decatur. And when we first got that property, it actually looked worse than that. Like, the grass was cut up. I should have probably sent y'all that image of the property as well. But it was a property that, like, my husband, he will literally drive everywhere to find a deal. And so with that property, it was, I think we paid $27,000 for it. The owner had died, and you know how, like, you have those heir properties,
right?
So they were just wanting to get rid of it. They weren't going to do anything with it, and so we bought it. Right. And as you can see, that's how the bathrooms looked before, and that's how it looked after. So that's
really nice.
So that's and I do a lot of the design for our renovations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I pick out, like, the floor, the countertops, the colors, the light fixtures, all of that I'm able to pick out based on what my husband, of course, allows me to do. As women, sometimes we just like, oh, that's really pretty. And, sometimes I get so, like, connected to the house. Like, I just want to put really nice stuff in there. But,
where's this one?
This one is in Rogersville.
That's in Rogersville? Okay.
Yeah, it was actually down the street from our mobile home park that we have.
Okay.
So with this one, our contractor in Rogersville told us, hey, man, there's a guy down the street. He's looking to sell a house. He was starting renovating it, and he said it's too much for him, and he only wants $50,000 for that house. And so we were like, what? So my husband went. We looked at it, and we made him an offer. We actually got that one for like $37,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
a lot of nice renovations.
Yeah. And then we went in and renovated it and got it. So
this picture right here, this is I really love this. You and your husband, y'all started or own a mobile home park community.
We do.
Pleasant View.
Mm-hmm.
This is very, very interesting. Talk to us about this.
So, me and you kind of talked yesterday at the North Alabama Chamber of Commerce. And you were talking about what are some things that you guys do for the community. And we wanted to provide affordable housing for people because everybody can't buy a house.
Right.
You know what I mean? For whatever reason, maybe they still need to build their credit up, or maybe they, need to try to save a little bit more, but everybody needs somewhere to live. Mm-hmm. And for my husband, he took the time to really research mobile homes and really see they're not that expensive to buy. You don't have to, have a lot of money to put into the mobile homes as well when you buy them and renovate them. So it's a little less expensive than buying a house and flipping it.
Right.
And so we were like, okay, why don't we start a mobile home park. And I'll be honest, when he did present the idea to me, I'm like, Thomas, a mobile home park? Like, are you serious? Like that's a lot. And I was like, so what? I mean, how do we, even get started on this? And he was like, we got to buy some land, and then we have to put up some utility poles, and we got to put up some septic tanks and roads and dig out the roads and everything. I was like, wow, that's a lot. Like, are you sure that, you want to do this? He's like, I'm telling you, this is going to be another way to provide affordable housing for people so that they can have somewhere to live, but also a way for us to create residual income.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I trust you. Everything has been happening like we said, I trust your lead. So let's do it. And we looked for land, and y'all were like, Rogersville, y'all got it in Rogersville. But it really was around the time where land around Huntsville was starting to go up a lot.
Right.
And so, like I said, we'll go anywhere and look for property. And so that 1.5 acres was available in Rogersville. It was at the price that we wanted. And so we bought that land. Mm-hmm. And everybody was so proud of us when we bought land. Like, mm-hmm. And I kind of felt proud too, because it was like, a lot of us unfortunately don't own land.
Right.
We don't. Right. And, it's something that they're not making any more of. Mm-hmm. So, when you have land, you really do have, an asset. And so we bought that land and just got to work. And it started the whole process, started acquiring mobile homes, started digging out the roads and getting the septic tanks put in and all of those things. And we have 4 of them now that are leased out. There are 6 total that's on the mobile home park that we have. The 5th one is being renovated, but we already got somebody lined up. They've already made their deposit. They're ready to move in once it's done. And so I have no doubt that the 6th one will be the same way. So it was definitely a great move for us.
That is outstanding. Mm-hmm. Outstanding.
Yeah.
A lot of times, as we said earlier, that is one of the avenues that a lot of people tend to forget about mm-hmm. when it comes to affordable homes, and I remember a good friend of ours, actually one of our facilitators here, had a modular home as well years ago. And we first looked inside. I said, what? Y'all got a modular home? What is that? Mm-hmm. And then when we went there, I was like, this thing's like a house. Mm-hmm. It was really beautiful inside. Mm-hmm. And I was just really amazed. And I looked at some of the remodeling that you did on some of those modular homes. They look good.
Thank you.
So, your husband presented you with this idea of let's do a mobile home park. Mm-hmm. Let's get it. Mm-hmm. Does something touch home with him with that? Was he been around it? Did he grow up in them, or how does he know about that?
Yeah, actually he did. He grew up in a mobile home. Wow. And his sister, had one as well. And so he, of course, was more familiar with mobile homes, right, and the potential of them as well. Because I'll be honest, like I'm okay, like with seeing the vision with the house, but some of the mobile homes that we walked into that needed work, I'm like, Thomas, I can't see the vision. Like I don't know about this. Like I don't even know how I'm gonna even start doing colors or anything in these. But he like, no, this is a good trailer. No, we getting this one. This is a good trailer. This gonna work. This gonna work right funny. Here. But being around it, he was able to really see the vision in it, and then it just made sense because material and all of the things that you have to put into a mobile home doesn't cost that much. Okay. to be able to do, and it's easier to flip and stuff. So yeah.
So you all are doing most of the work yourselves as a team,
we hire contractors, subcontracting. Honestly, we don't have the time to be in there and doing all of those hands-on things. So we do subcontract out, which is good because again, we're able to provide employment for people as well. Right. And make sure that they're able to feed their families and take care of their families as well.
So assets versus liability. Besides your first property, your initial property, keeping it, having to keep it for a year, you've been able pretty much to stay on the asset side, because this is kind of, you had to do a home equity line of credit, right?
Right.
And you purchased that home. The home equity, the line of credit that you took was against a piece of property that was owned, right?
Right.
So you had to pay a loan on the other. You had to pay that money back, or
You
what?
do. So
Okay.
once in a home equity line of credit too is something that you can use over and over again. So once you use it, you have that money. So from the first sell, we paid it back. You know what I mean? And so again, you're able to continue to use that money. So you pull it again, use it for whatever you need to use it for. And this is for people who want to start their own business. If you have equity in your house, look into doing a cash out refinance or a home equity line of credit, because you can use that money. And again, the monthly payments are going to be a little bit lower than a regular mortgage, because typically, the payments are just going to be smaller. You're going to have a lower interest rate a lot of the times. And it's going to be stretched out for you over 20 years if you decide to do that term. But with that, you can use that money over and over again. So we still draw from that home equity line of credit to use it to buy other properties. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
that sounds very manageable. The reason why I went back to that, just for people who do have, I remember many years ago. You all were probably too young.
I know I am.
Yeah, people would lose the whole kit and caboodle. Having an accurate plan, a plan that works, a plan that's tried and proven is very important, because if you can't make the payments, what happened?
You lose it.
You lose
Right.
it.
Yeah. No, definitely. And it's always important to have a solid plan.
There we go.
You want to take risks, absolutely,
Yes.
but you want it to be an educational risk.
Right.
There you go.
And that's what, again, we learn. And it's always about trial and error. And anytime you're working for yourself, it's going to be about trial and error and what you learn and how can you continue to, do better and be better the next time or the next, venture that you decide to take on. So for us with real estate, it's really kind of hard to lose because everybody needs somewhere to stay.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And real estate really isn't going anywhere.
Right.
So for us, that was a calculated risk that we were able to take. And, for us, we're blessed enough to where it did pay off for us.
That's awesome. Charles, excuse me for a moment. New shoulder pads there.
I like that suit coat.
Well, we got Charles to smile for a moment. So the reason why I kind of asked that question, because we do, obviously we have an entrepreneurship course that we do. And one of the things that we try to ensure that we have the students who are in our course understand is you have to do the work.
Right.
If you don't do the work, there's no success.
Absolutely.
And identifying those things, but ensuring that you're putting the plan in writing is very, very important. So if someone out there that's eventually is going to join us in our entrepreneurship course, those are some things that we expect. We desire for you to do. Because we don't hold your hand down and say, "Oh, you're going to do it," or get a ruler, and like Charles does to me sometimes, and hit my hand. That's going to go to the police. Right? But it's necessary.
Yeah.
And so everything I'm listening to, one great thing, you had the financial background, you're right, and you understood some of the numbers, and and your husband had the vision and hard work, and you took those things and put it together. The hypothesis, right? I understand mobile homes myself. I have never lived in one, but I've always loved them.
Yeah.
And I said, they are right now. I always wanted to put a mobile home next to my mama's house. Right. And because in case when I'm home, right.
Yeah.
So they serve their purpose. Perseverance, I tell you what, it's for all young entrepreneurs and those entrepreneurs that are haven't started yet, but you will start. perseverance is, I think, is super, super important. Along with putting those plans together, you know, those like one of our contributors says, Crystal Shell with Will Technologies. What is it? Something's going to keep you up at night.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And with that, I guess I'm going to ask, anything that kept you all up at night?
I mean, honestly, it's a lot of hard work, and I'm glad that you touched on that. For people who do want to be entrepreneurs and you do have that vision, know and understand that it's going to take a lot of dedication,
Right.
and a lot of self-discipline, and it's going to take a lot of sacrifice. So you know, things that really keep us up, and it's a lot of times we may have bought a home. Like one of the flips I think y'all showed was in Madison County, and so, you know, you basically got to go through them to the inspection department to really get your house like passed. Well, when we started out, I mean, we just had a contractor. He wasn't licensed. He was experienced, but he wasn't a licensed contractor. I think they came out to cut the power on and immediately put a sign on our door that said there can no longer be any more done here. Y'all need to get licensed and pull permits and all of those things. And we were really stressed out about that because that really put a halt to our renovation on our property. Wow. But with a home equity line of credit, right, you still have those payments. Right. So you got to pay it. And so time is of the essence anytime that you're flipping a house, because you're basically losing money until you sell that house. Yes. And so for us, you know, that was very, very stressful because we had to figure out we had to find an electrician who was licensed. We had to find a contractor who was licensed. We had to find a plumber who was licensed. And then the inspectors, they kept coming out. And when they come out, they still find something wrong. And so, you know, they would come out and be like, no, that's still not right. Or no, y'all still got to fix this right here. Or no, y'all still got to do that. And so we had to redo something over again and then wait for them to come back again and check it again and hope that this time it passes inspection. And so a lot of stuff will keep you up at night when you are renovating homes, because what you think can go wrong will go wrong. Yeah. Yeah. All the time.
You know, I think one of the things I like, you know, about this whole mobile park idea that you and your husband are doing, or business partner is doing, is, you know, you are providing that affordable housing for those who can't afford traditional housing, which is very, very important. But also, you are pioneers in a sense, because you two are one of a kind that I've known since been here in this area that are doing this. Most people are just looking to buy a house, flip it, sell it. Yeah. But you all are looking at trying to provide a community for those who needs a place to live. And I think that is just awesome. That is awesome. Is there plans to open another Pleasant View? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Really?
Actually, it is. And, you know, a lot of times, like I was telling you, like, it's hard for me to see the vision. But when I see the vision come to pass, and I actually see what can be created once you really do work for it, work towards it, you know, put 100% into whatever it is that you're doing, and it's actually a reality, then I know it can be done. And so now you see, okay, the process really isn't going to be this hard this next time, because we already know what to do. Right. We already know how the process is going to work. And so, yeah, we are looking for another one.
That is awesome. You know, hey, viewers, anyone out there, if you happen to have a question for Ms. Hines, please put it in the chat. Our producer will make sure that we get that question to her. Also, remember to go ahead and share this with someone who can use this information, this vital information that she is putting out to the area, and what they are doing, and what her and her business partner are doing, and trying to make things better for the community. like this and trying to make stuff better for themselves as well. Hey, you can't make things better for the community if you can't make things better for yourself.
Exactly.
So I think that is awesome, what she is doing and what they are doing. So please remember to just go ahead and share this and put that information out there in the airway so people know what's going on and what they are doing. And besides that, you're also an actual licensed realtor, correct?
Yeah, I am.
Wow,
Yeah.
that there is that's tasking within itself, isn't it?
It really is. And I tell you, the reason why I got my real estate license was because we would hire realtors, right, to sell our properties that we flipped, and they would get that commission. And I would look to see, dog, they really are taking a lot of our profit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so my husband was like, why don't you go ahead and get your real estate? Like, I think you would be a really great realtor. And I was like, man, I don't know. Like, I was really scared because it's commission based, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, being a full-time realtor, I don't even know how that's going to work out for me. That was scary. But, I got to a place last year to where I was tired of really being in corporate. You know what I mean? And I just took that leap of faith and was like, okay, let me bet on myself. And I quit my job and I took the classes and through prayer and petition and everything else, God let me pass that real estate exam.
Awesome.
Lord
awesome.
Jesus, it was hard. But through prayer, petition, and just diligence, I was able to get my real estate license, and I absolutely love it. I love being a realtor.
That is awesome. That is awesome there. I love that. You made a good point in putting profits back into your own business by you being the actual real estate agent. You're selling your own property that you guys are flipping. Yeah. That is awesome. That's smart thinking. That's smart business minded thinking.
You created your own line of stream of income there.
Exactly.
Hey, that is great. That is great. Brewster, anything that you got for Miss Hines?
Charles, there's so many questions, and I know we're limited in time, and I don't have really the risk. Well, one question I put down here: teach others, right? Have there been others that have come to you and say, "So, can you help me, learn what you all have put together?" Has there been an opportunity to teach one?
I would like the opportunity. People say they want to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm an open book to really helping people go ahead and get started to that. But I'm okay. No. Oh, okay, come on. No. You know what I mean? People say, "Oh, how you doing?" Well, what's going on. But when it comes down to really sitting and talking and really executing on what they want to learn,
right? Listen to these viewers.
That part doesn't happen.
Okay.
Right.
So because I find there are people that do it, right? And obviously I'm not in that industry here in the Huntsville, Alabama area. I have a young one who's buying and renting homes, and he has a desire to get into that particular area. But are you putting all this knowledge? Are you putting it in writing?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't.
Yeah, you should get a dictaphone and do that, because there's always information is powerful, and I think that that's another opportunity that you can give to those who want to know the way. It's almost like a business license, right? So, Charles, what do you do in order to get a business license? That's really a question. Right. But they come to you for information.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to give people an incentive, which often turns out to be an incentive for yourself.
Yeah.
In order for them to really put some effort into it.
Yeah.
Right.
It may be a feat that's
should I write a book? Should we write a book?
I think you should write we're processes. right?
Processes.
Right. So processes, right? How do you do it? People out there do that all the time, and I think what you are doing, it can be duplicated.
Absolutely.
And then if you're teaching someone how to duplicate it, then
Right.
they're the contractors that you've gotten involved with, that you built relationships with. That's very, very important.
No, I completely agree, and I think that really,
You just come here and teach.
I could do that. And really for our community as well, like I want everybody to be successful. I want people to go after their dreams and chase them and really know what they're capable of doing.
Right.
I want to see that success. And so that is something that I think is very important. I think that that's something that we can definitely look to do.
Mhm.
A lot of times, and I'm kind of glad that I looked through all of our photos and stuff today, that when I was sending it to you guys,
Right.
because sometimes you don't realize where you are,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Because when you're going through the day to day, you're kind of just living in the moment.
Mhm.
But I was able to go back, look at where we started.
There you go.
Right. And look
Yes.
at like the things that has been accomplished. And it was
Right.
like, wow, you know what? Are you
Sorry.
crying?
Oh, don't put me on. Don't put me on. She put me on. Hey, but Katrina, go ahead, because you know what? And it seems so simple, but we miss the moments.
Right.
We miss those moments,
Yeah.
and we, even though we're striving for more
Right.
and more, we don't appreciate.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
We
Right.
lose those times of appreciation.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and the next thing you know, so much time has passed, and you're old like me, and you're looking back and saying, "Man, where did the time go?"
Mm.
But enjoy the ride.
Right. Right. And
You know?
and I just
Successes and failures, by the way.
exactly. And so sometimes, when you talk about teaching, it's kind of like you think, am I there yet to
Right.
even teach somebody else? Like, I think about what we have accomplished, but then it's like, I don't realize how big it is, or you mentioned being a
Mhm.
pioneer.
Okay.
I don't.
No.
This is an emotional shout.
Right.
This is one of the emotional ones. I like it.
I saw he's going.
Sniffling us out. Yeah, but you don't. So sometimes I don't really know, like, okay, am I there to be like, oh, well, let me teach you how to do this? But I definitely want to share what
Right.
I do know
Right. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
so far with other people.
Let me summarize what I said,
All right.
Charles. I'm gonna take about 5. But really, that's one of the great things about this platform, right? This platform, right? Once it's out there in this digital land, right? This is not just noise.
Yeah.
And I've heard that said several times. There's a lot of noise out there, but this is great information, and we're hopeful, team, that as you're out there watching, share this cast. It doesn't matter whether you're in Timbuktu, that would be in Wisconsin, in Timbuktu, or
Milltown, what's up?
doesn't matter where you're at, but someone may be looking for it.
Right.
And so, so you how people is there a way that people can contact you if necessary? And things of that nature?
No, definitely. You can email me at Katrina Washington-Hines at gmail.com. If you are interested in buying or selling a mobile home, or buying or selling your house, you can call me or email me at katrina@revolve.com. And then we have our own business email as well, which is JE_homedevelopment@yahoo.com. So questions about, wanting to learn how to start flipping and things like that, you can certainly send to that email.
Okay.
Outstanding. Hey, viewers, I hope y'all was able to get all that valuable, good information that Ms. Hines had just put out. I know our producer, she will be putting a lot of that inside the chat for you all, for those who would like to reach out to Ms. Washington-Hines and let her know how much you appreciate the information that she has been giving out, and possibly get some of those nuggets from her that she put out tonight, and helping you on your journey. I know that being an entrepreneur is not easy, and you have proven that it is not easy. You have proven that it's hard work. Your husband, business partner, has proven that it's hard work, and you've also proven to both of y'all it takes vision.
Yeah.
You got to have a vision for what you want to do. You got to have a vision for what you are going to do in your journey in entrepreneurship. It's never easy. And if it was easy, then everyone would be entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
Like this. And everyone's not going to be an entrepreneur because you have to be willing to put in that work. You have to be willing to put in that time. One of the things when you was talking about going through the photos and thinking back from where you came from and where you are, one of the things I tell all the entrepreneurs, no one never remembers where you come from. They only see where you're at.
That's right.
They don't see where you come from. They don't see that struggle. They didn't see that 1 year of not selling that home and thinking like, man, what are we going to do?
Right.
Husband, business partner, you said, let's do this. Now we here. What's happened? They didn't see those struggles and those late night fights in the bed. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I ain't talking to you. You ain't talking to me. They don't get to see all that. Like this. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. And the part when you said that you stepped out on faith. That is important for you all out there who's looking to start your business and become a business owner. You got to have faith. You got to believe in what your product is. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you can do it.
Yeah.
Don't sit back and think, oh, well, that's Katrina. She can do that because she's from Wisconsin. Oh, that's Brewster and Charles. They can do that because they're with CNI Solutions. No, you have to believe in yourself and believe you are just as good or even better than the ones that who you are looking at. Brewster?
Oh,
word.
Yeah. You know what, Charles, you're right. And this is the second part of what I like to add to about faith. Faith without works. So you have to put in the work.
Right.
And you have to put in the work. That's that hypothesis. You have to prove that it's right. You got to put in the work. Are there sandwiches falling from the sky and things like
No.
New houses falling from the sky?
No.
Yeah. Dodge Durangos and things like that?
No.
Hey, you have to get out there. You have to put in the work.
You do.
Yes.
You
Yes.
do. You do.
Yeah. Miss Katrina, any final words, ma'am?
I would just say, I just love how you guys kind of are touching on entrepreneurship at a local level and highlighting it. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share our story. Yes. My husband is working right now. He's a robot. I call him a robot. So he wasn't able to attend and join me here. But I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share our story. And I do hope that this encourages other people. I just post all the time that I want people to chase their dreams and run after what they want. I want everybody to be successful.
Yes.
And you have to know with that you may lose a lot of people along the way. You know what I mean? But don't allow fear or what other people may say to discourage you from stopping you from living your own dreams and going after what you want. So I hope that this was encouragement for somebody, and I hope that now you want to step out on faith, right, and do the work.
There you go.
and achieve the dreams that you want out of life.
Outstanding. Miss Katrina Washington-Hines, thank you very much for coming in and sitting with us and partaking this knowledge, not just to CNI Solutions, but to all of our viewers out there who are listening, for those who are looking to get started in entrepreneurship or even started into doing what you're doing, and who, hey, you may, believe it or not, you may encourage someone else to want to build that community of affordable housing for someone else. I really can't get enough of that idea. I'm telling you, I just think that is super, super awesome.
Yeah.
Like this. And when we get done, I wanted to get that address because I want to just take a ride out there and go take a look at this. I think that is awesome. I really do.
Definitely.
Folks, don't forget, we will be starting our next entrepreneur class next month. In the month of May, me and our educator, Mr. Fomby. We'll put the date out, and it'll be on the website as he's sitting here chewing like he ain't got no teeth and all gumming. But we will put that information out for you all so we can get that next class started. And hopefully one of you all will be the next Katrina Washington-Hines out there making things happen and doing great things as always. So as always, remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow.